Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to episodes 494, 495 and 496. So in these episodes we saw the beginning of the backstory between Luffy, Ace and Sabo. We just got introduced to Child Sabo. I think he's a great kid. Wow, that revelation at the end that he was actually a noble and not an orphan like Luffy and Ace, that, I mean, obviously his outfit speaks for itself, but I just assumed that he stole the outfit from a noble, but it turns out that he's actually the son of a noble, and he left the family. He left his noble family because they completely neglected him. They just saw him as like a tool to keep the family status and reputation going, because they wanted him to marry a rich girl, you know, like to keep the reputation going and their fortune going. And he just had enough of it, so he left them, and apparently the father thought he actually died, but we don't know what the explanation is about that yet. I have a theory as to like why we don't see Sabo with Luffy and Ace now, like why they all separated why they all went their own ways. So because obviously like we've saw that Ace, he actually he got recruited by Whitebeard, so he became one of the commanders of the Whitebeard Pirates. But Sabo, like, he's just non-existent now, so I have a feeling that he actually dies later on, which is why he's not with Ace and Luffy in the present. But obviously I've seen the adult pictures of Sabo, so he can't actually be dead. So I have a theory that he probably faked his death in order to I don't know why he would do that to Ace and Luffy. It's just a theory, don't confirm it, don't say anything that I'm wrong or that I'm right or anything. It's just a theory that I have. So he probably faked his death. Don't say that I'm getting warm or anything. I actually really don't want to know if I'm right or wrong. So whatever happens later on, I think Ace and Luffy are led to believe that Sabo actually is dead, which is why they don't like they don't look for him or anything. So that would be actually really sad, because then Luffy is going to think that, oh, Sabo went and now Ace went. Oh man, you know, like that's going to be really depressing for Luffy until he actually reunites with the adult Sabo, who I have no idea what the adult Sabo is doing. All I know about Sabo, the adult Sabo, is that he's actually part of Dragon's revolutionary army. Unfortunately, there are certain spoilers on the internet, and he actually has, from what I've seen online, he seems to be close to this girl called Koala. I don't know though, but like, yeah, that's all I know. But yeah, so this backstory. So Ace and Sabo, they have been like friends, like close friends, in the gathering so much money for their pirate fund to buy a pirate ship together and sail off. So yeah, they've been like stealing money from the Bluejam Pirates and a lot of other people, I guess. And then the Bluejam Pirates, they got really angry. And because Luffy has been following Ace and Sabo, Sabo gets introduced to Luffy, the one that keeps clinging on to Ace and wanting to be his friend. Ace got really irritated, but he had to tell Luffy what's going on. But unfortunately, Luffy got kidnapped by the Bluejam Pirates, and Porchemy, I believe his name, the absolute scumbag that was torturing Luffy to tell him where Ace and Sabo's pirate fund is, where the money is. But Luffy was like, no, I'm never going to tell you where the money is. But because Luffy was so insistent on not telling Porchemy where Ace and Sabo's money is, he unfortunately got beaten so badly. And then Sabo found out about it, and Sabo told Ace that he's getting tortured and he could die any second. So Ace and Sabo ran so fast to stop Porchemy, and they oh man, I was so relieved when they did. I was so angry and disturbed that we actually saw like, you know, a lot of child abuse going on with Porchemy beating up Luffy, and my heart just like broke. Like, oh man, it's not just the present that we've seen like so many bad things happening to Luffy, but we're also seeing a lot of bad things happening to him in in his childhood, and it's amazing how Luffy just brushes it off like it's nothing. Because realistically, children who well, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, but if I can imagine, like, it's going to be very traumatic for a child, actually. But I mean, he did cry a lot after, so, but like, you know, Luffy's got a very high spirit. Same with Ace. And yeah, he was like, he just became one of the bros, you know. He became really good friends with Ace and Sabo, and I was really happy that all three are so loyal to each other, and they were doing some mischievous stuff together, and making sure that their pirate fund is not found by changing its location all the time, because all the delinquents and the Bluejam Pirates, they got really mad, and now they're completely wanted by everyone, so they actually had to hide themselves from the Grey Terminal people and Mount Corvo and Goa Kingdom. They're completely infamous even at such a young age. So I found that really fascinating. Also, like, the world building, I found that really fascinating, how the nobles are like completely separated from the low society people, like the working class, and, you know, like low non-nobles, I guess, like the low society, let's just call it the low society. So yeah, it was I mean, it's not shocking, but like, it was a little bit surprising that Sabo actually is a noble, but his actual personality is what makes it believable, because he seemed like the sane, intelligent one out of the trio. But again, like, I just thought he stole the clothes of a noble. Like, I didn't think that he was actually a noble himself. But he obviously, like, he doesn't like his family. They completely neglected him. And his own mom like beat him up for apparently hitting the other noble kid, when actually the noble kid was coming at him with a knife, which I don't know why he did that, but yeah, yeah, that's all I have to say. A very interesting backstory, and I can't wait to happen what happens next. But I have a feeling it's actually going to be really sad at the end, which is why they all split up, you know. But yeah, I do think that Sabo dies in the sense that Ace and Luffy are led to believe that he actually died. I don't know, but like, they all separate though, so like, what's the other explanation, that they all just happen to like not like each other anymore? Like, I just find that quite hard to believe, unless Sabo actually betrays Luffy and Ace, but then again, he's part of Dragon's army, so I don't think that's the case. But anyway, whatever. Okay, don't tell me anything, don't tell me any spoilers. Anyway, so what did you think of these episodes? Let me know, and stay tuned for more.